There was a lot of upfront effort developing the documentation for your project, which eventually translated into a great expense. You and your team spent a lot of long meetings hammering out every point of the customer's requirements and committing to a specific interpretation of those requirements. The documentation that your team spent so long on made it difficult for you to actually work on developing the product. Instead, you were spending your time creating paperwork. Now that you've realised you didn't build the product that your customer wanted, your hands are tied due to the contractual requirements within the documentation that were laid out before you started developing. Your team has come up with easier, quicker and more valuable ways that they could deliver the requirements, but you don't have the flexibility to accommodate these ideas within the contract your company signed with the customer. To change the scope of the project now, in order to make the product that the customer actually wants, would make a lot of the existing documentation invalid, meaning a large amount of the work that went into developing the documentation is wasted. This reworking of documentation will push the project over budget, demoralising the development team and creating friction between them and the customers. The amount of documentation required in a traditional project can create extra constraints on the development team, forcing them in a direction that could be inefficient and waste time and resources. If you only create the documentation you need now for the project, then you can start to develop the product much earlier.